In the dynamic of M&A decisions, whether to deploy cash or stock is an akin to choosing instruments for a symphony. As Benjamin Graham once observed, the essence of investment management is in the management of risk, not the management of returns. The harmony of cash or stock in M&A lies in a thoughtful balance between risk mitigation, financial strategy, and the pursuit of a long-lasting value. Hello everyone, welcome back again with me, Joseph Eugene Wendong. And in this video, I will be explaining about my analysis and opinion regarding the article review for stock or cash, the trade-offs for buyer and sellers in mergers and acquisitions by Alfred Rappaport and Mark L. Sirower. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. So, the background of the case discussed the implication of using stock rather than the cash to pay for acquisitions, arguing that the both acquirer and targets need to understand the impact of this decision on the shareholder value. And the background is in 1988, nearly 60% of the value for large M&A deals for those over like $100 million was paid for entirely in cash and less than 2% was paid in stock. But just 10 years later, the profile is almost reversed as 50% of the value for all large deals in 1998 was paid entirely in stock and only 17% that was paid entirely in cash. And the article begins by stating the increasing trends of mergers and acquisitions in the 1990s as a strategy for growth in a globalized and fast changing markets. And stock versus cash is explained through this article. Uh, the article explains the difference between paying for acquisitions with stock or cash and how that affects the value creation for shareholders. And it is argued that paying with stock can dilute the value of the acquired shares and create misalignment of incentives between the acquirer and also the target. And the article also discussed the challenge of estimating the synergies from an acquisition and how can that lead to overpaying for the target. It warns that over optimistic projections of synergy can destroy value for the shareholders and you must be careful for that, and it suggests that some guidelines for avoiding this pitfall. Next slide is next slide is about the key initiatives from the case. So paying with cash in an M&A deals means that the acquirers pay a fixed price for the target company share, while paying with stock means that the acquirer issues new share of its own company to the target company shareholder. Um, Using stock means that company may able to preserve cash for financial flexibility and meeting other obligations. Furthermore, there are also tax advantage compared to using cash, which will be discussed further. Notice and other than that, using stock sometimes can deliver positive signaling to the market, but on the other hand, using cash may have more certainty towards the overall value, providing clear picture of the deal's financial implication, and it provides no dilution and faster and also a simpler way to execute compared to stock transaction. Next one is we have the value creation, which is paying with cash will create values for acquired shareholders only if the acquisition is worth more than the cash paid, while paying with stock creates value for both the acquirer and the target shareholder if the combined company is worth more than the sum of the two separate companies. Next one, we have risk sharing. Paying with cash transfers all the risk of the acquisition to the acquirer, basically put the risk only in one side, while paying with stock share the risk between the acquirer and also the target. The acquirer shareholders bear the risk of overpaying, while the target shareholders bear the risk of underperforming. And next one is we're going to discuss about the disadvantage. When a company acquires another company through stock offers, it issues new share to the target company shareholders in exchange for the uh, target company shares. But it also creates a disadvantage, especially when you put more stocks into the market. Uh, The disadvantage comes from the dilution for existing shareholders if the number of share issued is significant. And this may impact the EPS or earning per shares of the acquiring company. And moreover, valuation fluctuation may be the subject to the market fluctuations, which overall may impact the value of the deal. And in addition, there is also a misalignment of incentives in a stock and stock exchange. The target company shareholders may receive shares of the acquired company, which can create misalignment for incentives between the two parties. Next one, we have to discuss about also the disadvantage of using cash. So the disadvantage of using cash inclusions comes from a cash depletion. So using cash, of course, reduce the overall acquiring company liquidity, and it is potentially limiting its ability to pursue other opportunities or handle unexpected changes. Moreover, there is also an opportunity miss from synergies that can happen. If the acquiring company believes that there are significant synergies between the two entities, using cash might mean missing out on the potential benefits of a combined, stronger organization. And on the other hand, cash might be a higher cost of capital compared to paying in stock. Moreover, there are uncertainty in SVAR or shareholder value at risk, where buying a company in cash have a higher shareholder value at risk compared for a stock deals. And there's also like a motive of M&A that sometimes investor or shareholder have, especially when using stock or cash. For example, if the acquirers offer the using stock, the acquired shares are usually overvalued, and its management lack of confidence of the overall acquisition. But on the other hand, if a company are using cash to acquire a new company, let's say, it shows the confidence, and the management believe that at that time the company was undervalued. So that are both two perspective from each of the company, especially when they want to buy either with stock or either with cash. Next slide is about tax implications. So, what are the tax implications that might impact the decision making? So, tax implication plays a crucial role in the decision making process when choosing between offering stock or cash in an M&A transactions. And tax treatment can vary based on the jurisdiction involved, and it is essential to consult with tax expert to actually better understand the specific implication. And first one is for stock transaction, we have a tax deferred rollover treatment. Sorry. In some jurisdiction, using stocks in an acquisition may provide tax deferred treatment for the shareholders of the target company. This means that they may not immediately recognize a capital gains for tax purposes until they sell the acquired shares. And there's also a potential for tax-free exchange if it is structured properly. A stock for stock exchange might qualify for tax-free treatment under certain circumstances, allowing shareholders of the target company to defer capital gains taxes. And but it comes with the complexities in cross-border transaction, especially when the transaction uh, it is in stock transaction, and it can introduce complexities related to different tax jurisdiction, especially if company A have different regulation, company B have, of course, different regulation. It can create more complexity, and it may take more time, especially when you do stock transaction. But on the other hand, when using cash transaction, you will have an immediate tax consequences, and because this is the cash transaction typically results in an immediate tax consequences for the target company shareholders, and they will recognize the capital gains, either capital gains or capital losses, in the year of the transaction. But it creates a tax efficiency in certain situation. In some cases, cash transaction may be more tax efficient for shareholders, especially if they have a low cost basis in their share, or if they prefer to have more liquidity. And Depending on the jurisdiction involved, there may be withholding tax implication on cash payments, which need to be carefully considered and planned for in the deal structure. Moving on, we have problems that is argued in the article, which is paying with stock can dilute the value of the acquired shares and also create misalignment for incentive. So we're going to discuss more about that. So shareholders may view dilution negatively as it reduces their proportional ownership in the company, and the perceived impact on shareholders' value can influence market reaction to the deal. The use of stock, in this case, may create a situation where the shareholders of the target company and the acquiring company have different financial interests. So, those are the things that um, both sides must agree upon, especially when you want to do the transaction. And this different treatment can lead to misalignment of incentives. Again, misalignment of incentive can pose challenges during the post-merger integration phase. If the employees and management of the target company are now shareholders in the acquiring company, their incentive may not be perfectly aligned with existing shareholder. The structure of the deal, including the exchange ratio for the stock, can influence the level of dilution. So, what are the lessons learned? So basically, there is a note to better have a careful consideration to not do like a overconfidence, especially when doing transaction in this type. And careful consideration again is very essential to mitigate potential negative consequences, combined with also transparent communication with shareholder. So what I learned is that if you want to do this type of transaction to mitigate this dilution, there is you must have like a due diligence and also um, like a meeting to actually have your vision for both of the company on the same side. So what are the lessons learned for the overall article? So the decision to use cash or stock in an M&A require a comprehensive analysis that goes beyond just financial consideration. And sorry, and holistic analysis is the key for effective decision making. While financial metrics are essential, factors such as tax implication, market conditions, and strategic objective should also be thoroughly evaluated. The choice between cash and stock should align with the strategic objective of the acquisition. Consider whether the transaction aims to gain specific technologies, for example, or expanding their market share, or let's say achieve other strategic goals, and also let's say tailor the payment method accordingly. And this leads to flexibility in the deal structuring as a crucial aspect. Depending on the circumstances, a combination of cash and stock or other innovative structure may be the most optimal solution to address the needs of both the acquiring target companies. And moreover, there is also an importance to recognize and understand and also considering the preference of the target company shareholders and their attitudes, let's say, towards a tax implication, liquidity preference, alignment with the acquiring company may influence the success and acceptance of the deal. And lastly, and probably one of the most important thing is to implement a risk mitigation strategies before taking a decision on using cash or stock in an M&A deals. Considering mechanisms such as collar agreements, for example, to manage the potential fluctuation, especially in the stock transaction, to protect against the downside, the downside risk of using stock transaction. So, as Warren Buffett wisely said, in the business world, the rear view mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Businesses must constantly evolve to stay competitive, and mergers and acquisition are not just about combining assets, but it's also about fostering innovation, adapting to change, and positioning for a stronger future. That is all from my presentation, from my analysis, and my thorough opinion about the article review. Thank you for your attention, and that's all from my presentation. Thank you very much.